Good morning, I'm at Aspen near Oswaldtwistle, Lancashire, and this is where the canal has leaked into a small stream because the banks collapsed about a mile from here at a place called Four Homes. It's quite an old name, near Church, on the border with Church and Rishton. So they bunded the canal here, where this side of the canal is quite healthy and this side it's quite empty while they repair this part of the canal. The other bunding is at Rishton, which is about a mile and a half that way along the canal. It's quite a busy area. The Lancashire Railway runs right across in the distance. That runs from Blackburn to Accrington, then Burnley, and this stretch of the canal runs all the way to Burnley this way and that way to Blackburn. It was built in 1810 and it's lasted till then and never had this case of a breach. I've lived in Church all my life, I've never seen anything like this, so it's quite a momentous event to see the canal empty, but now it's been repaired and hopefully in about maybe 6 months they'll have fixed it. But this area is called Aspen, and it dates back to 1296 when the Lords of Oswaldtwistle owned Aspen, Philip de Oswaldtwistle, so it's quite an historic area, and it carried on being owned by the Lords of Oswaldtwistle. Later in the 1700s the Burnham family owned this area and they then relocated to Nusden Hall, and some of them buried in the St James's churchyard at Church. So this village goes back quite a few hundred years, but as you can see the canal does look a bit empty now, so we'll carry on. See ya. This is the Aspen Valley bridge where the canal breach has happened, and as you can see we've had a bit of snow, and this is where the canal is empty, and in the distance there's a barge, and that's the railway going down that way, and this is the Aspen village near Oswaldtwistle, and this stretch of the canal, which is empty, goes for about a mile all the way to Bullhead Bridge, which is on the border of Rishton Church, and that way is the Accrington Golf Club, and on this side of the bridge you have the pumps pumping into this canal, or to the canal here. See, this is the bunding, because they've had to bund off the canal, block it off while they do the repairs, and these are the pumping stations. While they pump the water from the other side into here, and then they can continue with the work on this stretch of the canal, which may take up to about 6 months before they repair it. So that's the view. So as you can see, this is the part work and the blocked off footpath on the canal. Down there is where it's all blocked off. This is Oswaldtwistle, a little village area, and it's called Aspen. Now this is the Hyndburn Brook where the canal breaks into this stream, and that runs right through Snakes, and there's a tunnel at the end of there, and that goes to the River Hyndburn. As you can see, it's only a small stream to take all that water. And this is where the canal leaked into a stream. The banking, a culvert gave way. The culvert was middle of the picture now, and ran right down a stream, runs right down the back of them trees into a river, a brook, which runs right into the River Hyndburn. You can see they're busy at work. It looks like the bridge is gone, because there was a stone bridge at the top here, and the canal runs left to right, and that way it goes right round to Church, Oswaldtwistle, and then Church. Oswaldtwistle is there and goes right round, and Church is to our left. And Rishton is to our right, where they're doing this work. They're doing quite a lot of work there. Might be where they took the bridge down, but right along here, that area is where the breach is, and right in the distance is Accrington Golf Club, and then to our left, centre picture, far distance is William Blythe's, and the railway goes right round from Accrington and then right round towards Blackburn. This is the tip gas burner, and this field here is a Victorian tip as far as you can see, and under there vast amounts of Victorian waste. And this burner draws the methane off. Surely somebody could have this piped up to the heating and save them a lot of money. And that's that. That's the railway that runs right around. Well, there's quite a bit of major work going on. There was a stone bridge here at the top. So at this point, this is where the canal has gone into a small stream which runs down to Hyndburn Brook, and in the distance is William Blythe, and then the brook runs right across the base of a tip, a Victorian tip in the distance, and that tip started there in about 1940s, and they were just filling it in and filling it in, and there's all sorts under that tip. As you can see, there's a lot of work going on the stretch of the canal. You can see the old Victorian banking. Where they've banked it up. It runs right all the way around that way, under the railway line, right round Oswaldtwistle, right round the church which is in the distance. Here we are at the Rishton and Church bridge, where the canal is bunded, and as you can see, there's pumps working hard, and that is a railway line that runs through Accrington and goes towards Blackburn, and the canal also heads towards Rishton, and that is the aqueduct that goes over the motorway. This side's looking quite full and healthy, plenty of wildlife, and then just through there on the other side of the bridge it's empty. These pumps are working hard to keep it empty while they do the work, because there's quite a lot of work going on here now to repair this part of the canal. That way goes right through to Oswaldtwistle, right round. It's a canal loop, there's a massive loop, goes right round towards Church, and then on towards Clayton, Altham, Burnley, that way. But this is the canal loop in Oswaldtwistle.